welcome to The Traveling Introvert. I just finished recording one episode and I realized there's something that happened recently that I think a lot of people would like to hear about, and that is what to do when you are delayed. And I don't mean that you're late getting to the airport and you miss check-in, not that kind of delayed. I mean when you're transiting or you're traveling and your flight is delayed. And I'm going to give you an example in the form of a story. So a couple of weeks ago, I was traveling from Bradley to Newark, Newark to Houston, Houston to Mexico City. And my flight from Bradley to New York, that was fine. But my flight from New York to Houston, we got on the plane. Everything was fine. And we were waiting we left the airport and we were sitting on the tarmac and we were waiting to be told to go. And we got told there was a lot of weather issues and they were trying to reroute us. And so we were sitting on the tarmac. It ended up that we were sitting on the tarmac for about 2.5 hours with no air conditioning. And it was about 90 degrees outside. So it was hot. People were getting claustrophobic. People were starting to get, air rage, even though we were on the ground, just because it was hot and people didn't know what was going on. And I had access to my phone or the app. If you had the phone, you could use the app to contact people. But I knew that by a certain point that I was not going to make my Houston flight. So I looked at the app and started to see what my options were. Then we got told we were being towed back to the terminal. So we eventually get towed back. Admittedly, our plane could not start. This is why we were getting towed back and we couldn't do it by ourselves. We get back to the airport. And so here's where the problem starts, because I'm obviously not the only one who's now missing their flight because we're now 3 hours delayed. So we have at least 100 people all lining up at the one customer service desk trying to sort out their flights. This is not the recommended move. I highly recommend you do one of two things. One, get on the phone straight away. They're more likely to be able to fix what you need on the phone. And if you have the app, they will send the new tickets to your phone and they will email them to you. So you will have no need to go to customer service. If you have status, the best thing you can possibly do is go to the lounge, because there will be no queue. There will be no 100 people waiting. You can get a drink, you can get some food, and they will sort you out. And so while the 100 or so people were waiting to sort of see the customer service, even though it took me 10 minutes to walk to the lounge, I still got served quicker, got vouchers, and they also made sure that I had a hotel waiting for me at Houston, and they put me on standby for the following flight in case this flight didn't take off, and they took really good care of me, and I got back, and people were still waiting to find out what was going on at my gate. Then at the gate, we waited some more and waited some more. We finally got on after some thunder and lightning and those sort of things. And then we get to Houston. Now, the particular airline I was traveling with did an extremely good job. As soon as we landed in Houston, there were 3 agents there with they had a hotel voucher. They had a taxi voucher. They could tell us where to go. They had us really booked on flights for the next day. They had it on lockdown. So it was really, really good, but it's not always the case. So when you are delayed, and it's not necessarily the airline's fault because it was weather, it was thunder and lightning and not wanting us to get killed and people like towing us out to get killed, do not get angry at the staff. It's not their fault. They're stuck too. They're late too. They're in the same position as you. They just happen to work for the airline. But you forget that they don't get paid until the door's shut. So if they're just standing around in the airport, they don't get paid. Don't get mad at them. Get on the phone. See what you can do. The phone is normally the quickest way. Another way is Twitter. You will find a lot of airlines will respond very quickly to Twitter and they'll ask for your location number and then they'll try and sort you out. But even with Twitter, you might still have to go to customer service. So if you can tweet while you're on the phone, that's also a good thing to do. But if you have status, best thing in the world is just go to the lounge. That is what I highly recommend, because generally speaking, there's going to be so many other people doing what you're doing. And unless you're at the front of the plane to get off, you're going to be at the back of the line at customer service. So that was my tip for today. Thank you for listening. This is Janice at The Traveling Introvert, and drop me a line at janice@thecareerintrovert.com. You can look me up on Facebook, Twitter, wherever I am on social media. All right. See you next time.